The Premier League clash between Brentford and Wolverhampton Wanderers was interrupted midway through the first half by an unwelcome sight, there it is, as a drone flew above the Brentford Community Stadium. It stopped play for some 15 minutes. Both teams had to leave the pitch, leaving thousands of fans in limbo. Not the first time a drone has caused serious disruption. Back in 2018, hundreds of flights were cancelled, you'll remember, at Gatwick Airport after reports of drone sightings close to the runway. Let's turn to the owner of Leicester Drones, that is Chris Smith. Chris Smith, thank you so much for your time today. I thought we were seeing a bit more regulation governing the ownership and the use of drones. What is the legal situation?
Well, the drone shouldn't have been there. It shouldn't be flying over a football stadium. That should have been restricted airspace. So in the UK, football stadiums, prisons, and obviously airport are restricted areas. And the drone that was used there, the DJI, it looked like a DJI Mini or Mini 2, shouldn't have even been able to enter that airspace. But that particular ground, it wasn't actually geo-fenced out at the time.
Help us with that, Chris. Sorry.
Drone operators are getting better.
Sorry, just a bit of jargon there, Chris. What do you mean by geo-fenced out?
Well, what happens now is the drone knows where it is, a bit like your sat-nav on a car. And if it goes into an area, it will recognise that that area is locked out. So the drone won't be able to enter that area or take off or land in that area.
And in terms of its control, would there need to be a line of sight? I mean, in other words, the person controlling the drone, would they need to physically be able to see it? Or would they have a camera on the drone so they could do it remotely?
No, so when you operate a drone, you need to keep it in visual line of sight at all times. So the person operating that drone was also breaking the law and breaking regulations because they couldn't keep that. That drone is very unlikely to have been within their sight.
It's important to remember, isn't it, that whether it's Amazon talking about delivering packages or people sending defibrillators to isolated communities, drones are as good or as bad or as useful or as useless as the people operating them.
Yeah, I mean, drones are here to stay, and there's an enormous amount of benefits that we can get from them, from delivering things to transferring blood or important things from one hospital to another. They're used for surveying things, checking on livestock on farms, security on industrial areas, search and rescue. Instead of, if you want to do a roof survey now, you don't have to have ladders and scaffolding. You can put up a drone, doesn't take very long. It can give you a 3D image of the roof. It can take high quality images of the entire roof within a very short space of time. So drones are here, they're here to stay. Their future is very bright, but they've just got to find their place a bit.
Yeah, certainly when it comes to things like television production, where before you'd hire a helicopter to get some fantastic aerial images. Now it's a cheap drone. But on the flip side of all that, you'll get people, for instance, trying to get hold of drones to smuggle drugs into prison, for instance.
Yeah, I mean that does happen. We were approached once to ask if we could do that, and obviously we declined. That is happening far less. I mean, you're probably going back a few years when people were doing that. Whereas now, if you're going to operate a drone, you need to register. So you need to register with CAA. Just go onto their website, caa.co.uk. The drone code is on there, so there's some good advice. And if you do operate a drone, the police and other authorities can see that drone in the air now, and they can see if it's actually a registered drone or not. So it's not so easy to do that. And of course, prisons are now geofenced. So DJI use a geofencing system. Most drone makers that we sell, they use a similar system. You cannot fly a drone very easily over a prison or a sports stadium.
Well, I'm sure lots of people have heard of geofencing. I've not, so I've learned something today. Chris Smith, thanks so much for your time and your expertise. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.